Sometimes before you're even able to admit it, you know that there is a move or a change that you need to be doing. You can see and you can feel the signs, but you are gaslighting yourself into not listening, making excuses as to why you shouldn't or you can't take that step, or getting stuck in trying to make it make sense, trying to figure out the how before you even take the next step. But I'm going to tell you that these signs are clear indications that something deeper is calling you to move out of your comfort zone, to move out of your home, to move out of a way of life, to move out of a routine, because it is conflicting with what it is that your spirit and your soul is craving for. Hey, I'm Natalie, and I want to welcome you to this new series I'm creating based off of my experience living abroad and talking more so about the depth of internal change that I've experienced that many people don't really ever talk about. I've lived abroad for 6 years. I started off in Korea as an English teacher for 5 years, and now I've been in Thailand for the past year. Now, a lot of you guys may come across my page because I talk a lot about moving abroad. Moving abroad was my calling. Moving abroad was my shift that I needed to make to grow and evolve into the person I am today. For you, it may be a thought of moving abroad, but it could be just moving out of your home. It could be leaving that job. It could be breaking off that relationship with that person. But these are the signs that are hidden beneath the surface that is calling you to make a shift in your life. 1, you feel misunderstood even when you're surrounded by people. You're realizing that nobody in your current environment that you've had these connections with sees you to a level of understanding, a true understanding of who you are, who you're growing to, what it is that you love doing, what it is that makes you happy. Maybe the people around you are hyper focused on really dark topics. Maybe they surround themselves with criticizing people, with judging people, with placing blame on people, and not taking accountability of their actions. Maybe you're noticing that you can't even really talk to people, not to a level and a depth that you truly get to understand the underlyings of, what do I want? What is it that you want? What is it that I want? How can we work together and make this happen? Maybe your conversations are starting to feel real surface level. There's no depth to it. There's no true understanding of what is emotionally happening to me. Can you see me? We're stuck in talking about the weather and politics and all the stuff that's everybody's talking about, but not about you, not about me, and not about how we can help each other and support each other really in this life. You may be even realizing that the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and it doesn't even necessarily just have to be friends, it could be the family that have been there all of your life. Maybe they don't even have the capacity to see you in the way that you want to be seen because they are in their own world and whatever's going on with them. Sometimes it's not even about you, it's about their world is so loud that they can't reach out and see you. And so sometimes people may not even have the capacity to meet you in the way that you need to be met. It's not anybody's fault, but it's just where you are in life, where you are realizing this doesn't feel good. Maybe you're at just a different level, a different space of being than the people that you're realizing you are around. Maybe they are in survival mode and you are trying to get out of survival mode and be in rest mode so you can truly enjoy life. 2, you can't pretend that being comfortable is enough. You've lived in comfortability. You've built yourself up to be comfortable. You have your routines, you have your job, you have all of the things that people have told you is needed, and you've achieved your comfortability. But there is something that is still nagging in your soul, but is this it? And that bubble of safety and comfortability that you're in, that you have, can start getting monotonous. It can start feeling like its own cage. In a way, you're being suffocated by the constant cycle. It's like everybody is doing the same thing over and over and over. And let's say that you made it. You got your education, you got the job, you worked at the career ladder. Like if you're in my age range, in the 30s, like early to late 30s, even late 20s, you may have graduated college and got your master's and got your corporate job and studied abroad and did all the things. But even once you had it, there was still something missing. It satisfied a part of the security and stability and safety, the thing that we think that we need. And once we get out of this, which is the survival, what we feel like we need to survive, once we get out of that, we start craving something different. But being here and staying in the security and staying in this bubble, where can I expand to? You as a human being are designed to consistently be expanding, to consistently be learning, to consistently be experiencing the world and yourself. And if you're in this monotonous routine that feels so suffocating, it is just your body, your brain, your soul's natural response, like, yo, we need to get up out here because I'm trying to see the world. I'm trying to meet new people. I'm trying to really see what I can do. 3, you dream more about freedom over success. You may be successful in your own right. You may have done the things that you thought that you needed to be successful, but the definition of success maybe is shifting for you. Success may not mean achieving the milestones. It may not mean having the house or having the salary or having the kids, getting married. It may not be that anymore. Success may mean I get to choose what I want to do with my time every single day. There is nowhere I have to be. And now I'm talking about from a moving abroad standpoint, because this is how I live my life. Freedom can be, I want my vacation to be my lifestyle. And take it from me, somebody who has their master's, their undergrad, who has multiple certificates, has worked in corporate, has done multiple different kinds of jobs, thrived at everything. My bosses love me, okay? Even having all of those things and achieving all of those things, at this point in my life, looking back, there's a hollowness to it. There's nothing really that it filled within me, other than I can say the pride that I did it, the pride of me pushing and being resilient and showing myself that I could do something, especially if I put my mind to it. If I could do it for these things which I really probably didn't want, imagine if I redirected that attention on something that I actually do want. 4, I think this is 4. There is this sense of like urgency that something needs to change, or that you're running out of time. Not necessarily, I shouldn't say running out of time, but I'll speak for my experience. Before I chose to move to Korea, I knew that Orlando, or I'll be more specific, Apopka, Florida, was not it. Seeing the same homes, driving down the same streets, seeing my schools, running into old classmates, going to the same stores I grew up going to, attending the same family events year after year. It got, for me, redundant. I started to feel like I was in this expanded cage. I felt more comfortable just being at home and staying in my own world, because once I left outside of my home, I remembered just how small this city was. And I was tired of it. And on top of that underlying discomfort already that you feel in that space, you put on other layers of other people's dramas, judging yourself and feeling really low and down about where you are in life. You start piling those things on top. Yo, it gets really, really heavy in that space. And so this is where I was like, yo, like I need to go. I need something different. I made an ultimatum with myself. I was in the middle of applying to Korea through their government-run program, which was at the time was called EPIC. and I applied. Everything on my application I felt like was perfect. And if you know anything about the process, you submit your application, and then I think maybe 4 to 6 weeks later, you get a response whether or not you're in the program, and they'll place you at a school. I submitted my application, prayed for the best, and waited about 6 weeks, and I got word back that I was denied by Epic. I was distraught for like a whole 3-4 days, because at that time I was in that bubble, and I knew I was going to Korea. I just knew it. And so it was my ticket. It was my ticket out. It was the thing that I was like, all right, I'm gonna be out here in the next 8 months, okay? But when I got that denial, I fell into, I don't want to say it was a depression, because honestly I was already depressed in that state, and I didn't realize that until I got up out there. I wasn't depressed in that state, and I let myself cry, and I let myself snotty tear up. I let myself sulk for days, and then I was like, Epic is not the only way I could get a job in Korea. And so I made this shift in my mind. I'm going to still get to Korea. I'm going to do everything that I can in my power. Everything is going to be the best it can be. I had a flawless application. I had a flawless intro video. I'm pretty sure it's still here somewhere on YouTube. I did everything within my power, and I set my sights on my Korea. And I started working with a recruiter, not with the government program. I started working with a recruiter. And basically what recruiters do, they take your resume, they take your introduction video, and they send it out to schools in Korea. And the schools get back to them, and they're like, yeah, we would like to interview this person. I had started working with them like October, and for 5 months they were sending my application and my video out, and nobody was biting. Nobody was interested in an interview with me. And so I was in a space where I'm like, I can't wait for this forever. This can't be my only ticket out. So I made an ultimatum with myself, and I said, by the end of March, if I don't have a job in Korea, I'm going to move to New York. Either way, I'm getting out of here, period. I didn't have a plan on what I was going to do in New York. I was like, if that's the case, then I'll probably stay with family and find a job and whatever. And you want to know what happened? On February 28th, or I want to say maybe February 27th, I get a message from my recruiter saying that there's a school that wants to interview me. I have the interview the next day, and then 12 hours later, I found out I had a job in Korea. So I didn't have to wait till the end of March, because by the end of February, I had a job. Making that ultimatum with myself to make sure that I did what I knew my soul was calling me to do was so important. I truly believe that doing that put me in action and put whatever, all of the processes out there in action. I always relate this urgency, this feel of urgency, like you need to change, as you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You can be sick and tired of something, but as long as you can withstand it, you are always going to make room in your life to tolerate it. But when you get to a point when that ain't working no more, when you're like, no, even though it may be scary, and even though you may not even have a plan, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, those things don't even faze you no more. Those things are like, you know what? Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I don't know how, but I'm gonna figure it out because I need to. This is that point. That is the urgency. 5, you are craving expansion and new experiences more than you did before. And you feel a pull towards moving abroad. You feel a pull towards seeing what Thailand is about. You feel a pull towards experiencing different Asian foods. And something about it is intriguing to you. For me, Korea started with a thought. Korea started with my mom, actually. She was obsessed with K-dramas, and I'm like, what you in here crying for? And then the next seed was one of my friends who was teaching English in China. And I'm like, wow, this is possible. And then I came across YouTube videos of girls teaching English in Korea, and they're showing me inside their lives. They're showing me what their rooms look like. They're showing me what school lunch looks like. And I'm like, whoa, it's so different. That's so interesting. And then I find myself obsessing and trying to find more like that, consuming, because there's this growing excitement and curiosity within me. And maybe at the time, like, this idea is blooming, but on the front end, I'm like, but how? It doesn't make sense. I don't even know how I would go to Korea. This is just interesting for me right now. That was a sign that something bigger in this direction is for me. And 6, you're willing to step into discomfort in order for you to grow. You get to a point where you start saying to yourself, I want to try this. I want to experience this. And it doesn't really scare me. Maybe you've gotten to a point in your life where you are ready. You are just ready to just do something different. You're just ready to try something that you ain't never tried before. You're willing to release all the things that you thought you had to be. You're willing to release all the expectations that other people had on you. You're ready to release their disappointment. You're ready to release and to grieve all of the versions of you that you thought that you needed to become. And you are ready to just step out into a new phase, into a new journey, into just another chapter. Like, you're ready to just up and change. Because building a life on your terms, based off of what you want, based off on how you want to feel, is so much better than living what you have been living before. If you've been feeling any of these signs within you, it's not a sign that there's something wrong. It is a sign that something bigger is coming for you. I don't even say it's coming for you. It is here. It's a move or a shift that your body, that your soul, that your mind, that you are craving for. You wouldn't be feeling that discomfort within you if there wasn't already something waiting for you on the other side. If this video resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, or what did you connect with most. This is part of my series, Becoming Abroad. And so if you want to watch this series from the beginning, you could click the playlist in my description. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.